What's going on, everybody? This is Maximilian, and we are going to go through, quote-unquote, Victory Road today. It's definitely not what you think it's going to be, at least it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It was rather anticlimactic. There were no trainers in there, it was very short, so as a result, this video, which I was expecting to be probably maybe even a two-parter, turned out to be a single 8.5-ish minute video. So I apologize for that, but hey, it gives me a bit of a break, and after the 20-minute marathon you guys had to deal with the last time I uploaded something, it's probably a welcome break. And there's a guy in a motorcycle outside my apartment. I apologize if you can somehow hear it, because I'm recording on a webcam mic, so this isn't the greatest quality, but fear not, I'm getting paid within the next 2 days or so, which means I'm definitely going to be buying a pair of Astro A40s, and I'll be using those to record from now on. Hopefully the quality will be much better, hopefully. Because if I'm going to sink that kind of money into a headset, the microphone head better be darn good, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so, Victory Road, there really isn't a whole lot here. I did say there were no trainers here, I kind of lied. We do get to fight our rival in this episode, which is kind of cool, because fighting trainers is always good at this point. We need the level grind. And, I don't know, I just kind of like beating him up every now and then. He's a bit of a pushover. Although, to say his party this time is a pushover is a bit, we'll call it a bit haughty. Yeah, that's probably the right word, haughty. Because his party's not too bad this time around. He's got some fairly decent Pokemon, but then again, since our party is levels ahead of his as per usual, because, you know, we're just awesome like that, we're gonna smash his face in with probably 2 or 3 Pokemon. And that's really all it's gonna be. Now, Eevee is not quite there yet. We are so unbearably close to getting an Umbreon. I cannot even tell you how close it is right now. I actually don't know how close it is because I can't tell what the happiness stat is, but I've gotten super duper awesome haircuts the last couple of times I've actually done it. So basically it's just a matter of throwing a rare candy at it and seeing if something happens. I will, however, let you know as soon as that happens, once we do actually get an Umbreon. I'm going to be level grinding off cam for the next couple of videos. Well, there's really going to be no videos if it's off cam now, is there? But yeah, you know what I mean. It's going to be a little while before we actually fight the Elite Four. But I will get that out as soon as I possibly can, because you know how that school has started. I'm trying to balance schoolwork and stuff. Because, you know, if you've ever taken physics and done electricity and magnetism that's calculus-based, it's not very fun. It's not fun at all, especially when they assign homework every day of the week, and you have to show up to turn in the homework, and you may or may not get called on to demonstrate the problem that you were supposed to do for homework on the board. Ooh, yeah. Apparently one student fainted, actually, when that happened in a class, and, I heard it wasn't pretty, but yeah, that's the kind of pressure you're under in the physics class at my university I'm attending. I'm guessing it's because it's one of those weed-out classes, so to speak, because it's more gen ed than any of the other classes around here, and they typically will use the gen ed classes like calculus and chemistry to weed out the people who either A, don't want to be here but their parents are making them go, or B, are just not capable of actually completing a college degree. Because you will always get some, because when you're an American university at least, it's not terribly hard to get into one, and usually the rule of thumb is if you can pay for it, then we'll let you go here, because, as we all know, universities like your money. So, if you've got the $20,000 or the FAFSA aid or the student loan, then they will be more than happy to accept you. However, it may only be a semester or a 2-semester long trek for you before you realize that you can't complete it. I mean, it happens to some people. It's happened to friends of mine before. Some people just aren't cut out for the rigor of a college education, and it makes sense. Because they demand a lot from you. It's a huge time commitment. You have to give up some of your social responsibilities, if you can call them responsibilities. It's more like enjoyment or whatever. But it demands a lot from you, and some people just aren't up for it. Some people would rather enter the military or go to a technical school, which is totally fine. I just happen to enjoy computer science a lot, so that's where I am right now. Anywho, time to fight Douche. Douche has a Sneasel, which I was a bit caught off guard by. I can't remember if he had it last time, but Sneasel is awesome. So if I were you, I would not use any Psychic-type or Ghost-type Pokemon in this. I would recommend that you just beat it up with whatever else you have in your party. Ampharos knows Thunder Punch, and Thunder Punch does a lot of damage to anything except ground types. So use Ampharos. That's usually what I'd recommend for anything. I just love Ampharos in general. And other than that, the rest of his party shouldn't give you much trouble at all. Except for maybe Haunter, but if you've got a Haunter like mine, which is a higher level than his, then you should be okay. I believe Shadow Ball's a one-hit KO, because again, no idea why, but Ghost types are effective against Ghost types. It makes no sense to me. So, it should be a fairly quick and easy battle. There's really not much to it, and he kind of plays along with the storyline, you know, like, oh, I'm I think I'm starting to understand what Lance was telling me when I need to stop being a total moron to my Pokemon, stop kicking them around and being mean, blah, blah, blah. But in all honesty, do you really care? Yeah, I don't really care either. So, once you beat him, you will gain entrance into Indigo Plateau, which is where we'll fight the Elite Four. However, I'm not quite ready to go yet. Obviously, we don't have our Umbreon ready. Our party's not quite high enough for a level, and we also need to take care of a couple things back home. So, I'm going to head back afterwards. If you do need to head back, rather than trekking back through Victory Road and surfing across into New Barktown, there is a guy in the left-hand side of the Pokemon Center with an Abra standing next to him. If you talk to him, he'll warp you back to New Barktown, so you don't have to take the long way there, and it makes things a lot easier. Now, granted, you do have to go back the long way into Indigo Plateau, but, I mean, at the same time, it's at least they gave you a shortcut one way. I mean, you can't be too demanding here. It is kind of annoying, though, that even though you've technically stepped into Kanto, you still can't fly into the Kanto region until you've gone a certain distance. I have no idea why that works that way, but it does. So, I want to touch on one other thing before this video finishes. I got a lot of comments from you guys on what kind of video games I should be working on, or what other gameplay you'd like to see, in addition to Pokemon, so we can have a little bit of variety. I seem to be getting a lot of people who are kind of requesting Zelda walkthroughs. And it's kind of very, because there's so many Zelda games out there. There's Twilight Princess, there's Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker was really good. That was actually the first one I ever played, Wind Waker. It was really good. Although there's a lot of Wind Waker walkthroughs out there already, most notably Chugga Conroy's, and he's probably one of the best Let's Plays guys I've ever seen. So I'm probably not going to do Wind Waker. I'm actually considering doing an Ocarina of Time walkthrough, because, if you can believe it, I've never played Ocarina of Time. I know how horrible it is. It's a sin. I know. I'm a deprived child. But I don't know. I can't explain it. It's not like I haven't had an opportunity. I've had an N64. I've had a GameCube. I've had a Wii. I've just never actually acquired a copy of the game and sat down and played it. So I'm thinking maybe that would be a good one for a Let's Play on the side. Or something like that. Because, or probably not on the side, probably for my next Let's Play. Because, I mean, it's Ocarina of Time. It's heralded as easily the best of the Zelda series ever made. And quite frankly, one of the best games of all time. So, I'm going to go ahead and check that out. Let me know what you guys think about that. If you'd like to see me play through Ocarina of Time, I'm going to be playing it through on my GameCube because my roommate has a GameCube version of it, which means I can actually record it using a recording device like a capture card. Because an RCA output on a GameCube. My N64 is so old, it's actually got a coaxial video output. Oh yeah, really old. So, yeah, that's the current situation. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. I'll go ahead and take those into consideration, but for the time being, I'm going to focus primarily on getting us ready to go for the Elite Four, and that means getting Umbreon, eventually. It will happen, I promise. I'm not going to start the Elite Four without it. So, that's basically all I've got for you guys. I do appreciate your feedback on these videos. I've been getting a lot of comments on videos outside of just stuff that I ask you for. If you guys do have any feedback for me, like things you'd like to see, changes you'd like me to make to these videos, let me know, because I do really appreciate the feedback. It lets me know that you're interested and you're watching. It lets me know that you take care or take the time out of your day to actually give me suggestions for improvement, and it helps me make this quality better. So, that's all I've got for you guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for when we kick some ass in the Elite Four. Until then, see you later.